Hafaday, and welcome to another edition of Island Images. I'm Edwin Ringel from the Joint Region Marianas Public Affairs Office, and we're here in Tumon to talk about the 4th Annual Guam International Marathon to be held on April 10. And again, we're here in the beautiful village of Tumon here at Ipao Beach, and I'm with Mr. Ben Ferguson and Miss Ria Macaluso. So, Mr. Ben, can you explain to us what you are and who you are here for the event?
Yeah, I'm the Managing Director for Guam Sports Events Incorporated and also the Event Director for the Guam International Marathon.
Okay. And Miss Ria?
Yes, I am a marathoner and I've ran the Guam International Marathon 3 times and qualified for Boston through GIM.
Right. And so Ben, can you explain to us the differences between last year's event and this year's?
What we've done this year is we've created a new tradition called the GIM Dip. And what this will be is once the runners cross the finish line up here in the parking lot, they'll make their way down and they'll go through and they'll receive their medals and all of their event swag, which we've got laid out here in front of us.
Right.
And then when they get to the end of the parking lot area here, we've purchased a red carpet, special made for the event, that will lead the runners down to the beach here. And what we'd like everyone to do is take off their shoes and put their feet in Tumon Bay here. I mean, you can look behind us. This is just such a gorgeous beach that we've got here. And I think it's unlike anything else that any other races have. And so we wanted to create something unique for our event and market Guam as such a beautiful destination. And so we think the runners will get a big kick out of it. We'll have a ton of photographers down here on the beach taking photographs of runners with the beautiful blue waters behind them and Two Lovers Point. And we think that that will be a significant piece that runners will be able to take away from the event that again differentiates our event from events anywhere else in the world. So we're very excited about that. So that's probably the biggest difference between this year's event and last year's event.
I'm so excited, especially the new tradition that they were starting this year because, you know, as a runner, our legs are so tired, fatigued from running how many miles. And being able to dip your legs right after your run, that is so relaxing. And especially with a nice view like this, you can never go wrong.
So with the training prior to the run on April 10th, I mean, how's that been going?
It's been doing good, but this year is going to be different. I'm only going to be running 5K because thanks to GIM, I was able to qualify for Boston Marathon, which is a week after GIM. So my coach said just to run a 5K.
We're very proud that Rhea has chosen our event to train for and run in previous years and qualify for the Boston Marathon.
How do you market to the other places around the Pacific, or you know, do you get people from like the stateside as well?
Well, you know, we have 21 different nations that are represented in this year's event. Most of them coming from Japan. We'll probably have in excess of 1,000 runners from Japan. You know, we'll probably have 400 runners from Korea this year. And then of course Taiwan and Hong Kong and China. This year we expect to have almost 300 runners come from those locations. So, you know, the word's getting out that we've got something good here. We're very happy about that.
Yeah, very exciting too as well, huh? With the local runners, how are they faring with the competition from everywhere coming from international?
I think our local runners get a kick out of it.
Yeah.
They enjoy you know talking to these folks
Right.
and finding out what their accomplishments are, and so it adds motivation to people like
It
Rhea,
does,
for
and
sure.
you know, talking to them after the race, asking for tips and, you know, training tips from them, it really helps a lot.
How did you get so fast?
Exactly.
Right. Every year you guys go over the top.
Always something
Yeah.
different.
Something different.
Yeah,
so,
you know,
can
so
you spill?
we've got some surprises in store
Okay.
for the runners at the start line. You know, the start line is a very important thing for us because we view that as the moment in time where, you know, all of your hard work is about ready to start to pay off, right? And there's a lot of excitement at the start line. So we always make a big deal out of the start line with entertainment. So of course we'll have the island show dancers with fire knife and those things. Really good as a runner that once you're out on the race course, that there's a lot of stuff going on the race course. because you really need that mental distraction sometimes, and you need those cheerleaders out there on the race course. So we've got quite a few additional cheering stations and additional entertainment options out on the race course, and just fun stuff, so that when you're a runner, you know, there aren't really many lonely spots in the road for you. We'll make sure that you're properly fed and hydrated. All of those things are a given. We know how important that is.
So what's the date and the time for the event?
It's a bit early.
Yeah, because you know it gets so hot.
Yeah, that's right. You know, if you talk to distance runners on Guam, typically all of them that start long runs will start their early runs as early as 4 a.m.
Yeah, even 3.
Even
Those are
3
ones that do
a.m.
20
Yeah,
miles.
especially if you're doing a 20-miler, you'll start at 3 a.m. And so the marathon starts at 3 a.m. on Sunday, April 10th. And we follow the marathon start with a 4 a.m. half marathon start. We then go an hour and then do our 10K start at 5 a.m. and then we start the 5K at 6 a.m.
First year of GIM, we started at 4,
That's right.
Yeah, and most runners were like, man, we should have started early because it gets so hot.
Right.
I was still at Adelup and the sun was already on my face, and I was
very tough.
running, my finish time was 3:20, and it was really hard for me, how much more for the people behind me, the runners behind me. So starting at 3 a.m. is just so perfect.
Our race ambassador, Nako Takahashi, so former Olympic gold medalist, 2000 Sydney Olympic Games, who will come down again as our race ambassador. When she promotes the event, she talks about how unique it is that you can start a marathon at 3 a.m. in the morning, and then when you finish, of course, we make a big deal out of that. You've accomplished something very significant in our mind, and so we'll have a lot of stuff at the finish line, really, and then topped off by this incredible experience down here on the beach. So, yeah, we're pretty excited about things. We think the runners are going to get a kick out of this year's event. It's also important to note that there is a race expo that happens on the Friday and Saturday before the event. So that event is the location where runners pick up their running bib. Very important. They've got to come to the race expo and pick up their running bib. But at the race expo, we have about 20 vendors that are providing various running apparel, local handicrafts that entertainment happens on, and so that expo in itself is a very fun event. So park at PIC, walk down through PIC's beautiful water park, and then you'll land at the Pacific Pavilion. You can't miss it. It's the huge white tent right next to the beach. So come down and have some fun at the expo, and then get excited for the event. And then on Sunday morning, bright and early, come down, and if you're not running, come down and cheer on people, or just come down and hang out. I mean, I think it's not a bad place to hang out on a Sunday morning, right? Yeah, so there'll be all sorts of fun stuff going on.
Thank you for joining us for this edition of Island Images. Please don't forget, April 10th, Sunday, Guam International Marathon. I'm Edwin Rangel from Joint Region Marianas.